Have you ever stood in front of the mirror and paused, not just to fix your hair or check your reflection, but to really see the person staring back at you? Something feels different, doesn't it? The face looking back isn't quite the one you remember. The eyes are familiar, yet they carry stories, some joyful, some heavy. The skin, the lines, the quiet tiredness in your shoulders, they all whisper one undeniable truth. Time has passed. The world rushes on. Friendships change. The body you once trusted without question now surprises you in unexpected ways. Aging isn't just about wrinkles or graying hair. It's a profound journey of transformation. And let's be honest, sometimes it feels like an uphill battle, a struggle to hold on to what once was. But what if I told you the real battle isn't against aging at all? According to the Buddha, suffering doesn't come from change itself. It comes from our resistance to it. The more we fight the natural rhythm of life, the more we suffer. One of his core teachings, anicca, impermanence, reminds us that everything changes. Nothing stays the same. And instead of fearing that truth, Buddhism invites us to embrace it. We spend so much energy grasping at fleeting moments, trying to freeze time, trying to protect what is already destined to shift. But what if aging isn't a curse to dread? What if it's a path to freedom? What if letting go is exactly what sets us free? Today, I want to share with you 5 profound Buddhist lessons about aging. Lessons that won't make you feel bitter, but awaken. These teachings are liberating, powerful, even beautiful. And if you let them in, they may completely change how you view the rest of your life. Let's begin with the first truth, a hard one, but also the most freeing. No one. You will be forgotten faster than you think, and that's okay. It's one of the most difficult truths for the human ego to accept. No matter how much we achieve, how deeply we love, or how hard we work, one day we will be forgotten. The career you built with so much care, the home you poured your heart into, the stories you told around the dinner table, they will all fade with time. At first, that realization stings. We spend so much of our lives trying to make a mark, striving to be remembered, believing that legacy equals permanence. But time doesn't ask for permission. It moves on, with or without us. Children grow, friends drift, and the world eventually shifts its gaze elsewhere. And yet, Buddhism offers a beautifully freeing perspective on this. The Buddha taught anatta, the doctrine of no self. The idea that we are permanent, fixed beings is an illusion. Just as waves rise and fall in the ocean, so too do we come and go, part of something much greater. Our presence creates ripples, not monuments, and that is enough. There's a classic Zen story that brings this truth to life. An old monk, known for his wisdom and compassion, lived in a quiet mountain temple. Over the years, villagers often came to seek his guidance. One day, a young disciple asked him, "Master, does it not sadden you that after you pass away, people may forget your name?" The monk smiled gently and pointed to the river nearby. "Tell me," he said, "where is the water that flowed here yesterday?" The student was puzzled. "It's gone," he finally replied. "Yes," the monk nodded, "but the river remains." The message was simple yet profound. It's not the name we leave behind, but the current of our actions. Our kindness, our wisdom, our presence, these are what continue flowing, long after we're gone. A Zen saying puts it beautifully. A single candle can light 1,000 others without losing its flame. So ask yourself, do you remember the name of every teacher who ever touched your heart? Probably not, but their light helped shape who you are today. The embrace of a parent, the words of a mentor, the kindness of a stranger. These things live on in the invisible threads that make up our lives. Let go of the desire to be remembered by name. Focus instead on how you live. Right now. Be present. Be generous. Let your actions ripple outward, because that is how you leave a true legacy. It's not about chasing after a name that will linger in the pages of history books. It's about making every moment count so that when your time comes, you can look back in peace, knowing that the river of your life has nourished others along its winding path. And as we move to the second truth, you'll begin to see that aging is not the end of something. It is the unfolding of something deeper. Number two, your body will betray you, so befriend it instead. There was a time, maybe not so long ago, when you could bound up the stairs without thinking, when walking for miles was effortless, when your body responded with strength, energy, and trust. But now your knees whisper their protests, your back tightens, even small tasks carry a quiet resistance. That same body, once your reliable partner, feels different. It's easy to see this as betrayal, a personal loss. But if the Buddha were here, he would gently remind us, this is nature at work. Just as the trees shed their leaves each autumn without complaint, your body too must change with the seasons of life. The problem lies not in aging, but in our attachment to youth. We grasp at who we once were, mourning the loss of what we could once do. And in that resistance, we create our suffering. But what if, instead of fighting the change, we learn to walk with it? Your body is not your enemy. It is your oldest, most faithful companion. It has carried you from childhood laughter to adult responsibility. It has healed from wounds, adapted to stress, and endured countless storms, often without thanks. It deserves not resentment, but reverence. Aging well is not about pretending you're still who you were 20 years ago. It's about honoring who you are now. That means moving your body with care, feeding it with intention, resting when it asks, and treating it not as a failing machine, but as a wise, weathered friend. There is a Buddhist parable that illustrates this with quiet beauty. An elderly monk, once strong and capable, now struggled with his daily tasks. He could no longer carry buckets of water from the river as he once did. One evening, exhausted and discouraged, he approached his teacher. "Master," he asked, "why does my body fail me? It used to obey my every command." The teacher handed him an old clay pot, its surface cracked and worn. "This pot," the teacher said, "once held water perfectly. Now it leaks." The monk looked at it closely. "But it still holds some water," he replied. "Exactly," said the teacher. "And the water that escapes, it nourishes the earth." The monk understood. His body, like the pot, had changed, but it was not useless. It still had purpose. And so do you. Yes, perhaps you no longer run like you used to, but you can still walk, still move, still live. You may not carry weight as easily, but you carry compassion, insight, and experience. Your hands may tremble, but they can still hold, comfort, and create. The truth is, your body has never turned against you. It has served you for decades. It has protected you, supported you, and allowed you to experience every joy and sorrow life has offered. Doesn't it deserve your kindness in return? Here's what you can do. When your body speaks, listen. If it aches, don't curse it, soothe it. If it slows down, don't fight, adjust. Find gentler ways to stay active, eat in a way that nourishes, and rest when needed. And most of all, remember, aging doesn't mean you stop living. A tired body does not mean a tired spirit. Look around. Think of the elders who inspire you, not because they look young, but because they radiate peace. They move slowly, but speak with depth. They've made peace with change, and in doing so, have released themselves from suffering. You can do the same. Thank your body. Walk forward with grace, not grief, because this journey isn't over. And as we move to the third truth, you'll see that even the people we love aren't meant to stay forever. And that's not something to fear. It's something to understand. Some people drift out of our lives like visitors, unexpected and silent. One day they're there, laughing beside us, and the next, they're gone. No explanation, just absence. And in that quiet space, we're often left wondering, was it something I said? Was I not enough? It's easy to take these moments personally, but Buddhism reminds us of a deeper truth. Everything in life is impermanent. That includes relationships. People enter our lives when we need them. Some come to teach us, to walk beside us for a season, to challenge us or comfort us. But when their role in our story is done, they move on. Just as spring turns to summer and summer fades into fall, so too do the people in our lives change with time. There's a Buddhist parable that captures this truth with quiet elegance. One day a young monk asked his master, "Why do people leave us when we love them?" The master said nothing, but gently led the boy to a riverbank. He pointed to the flowing stream and said, "Watch how the river moves. Every drop of water flows forward. None of it stays in one place forever. Some droplets travel together for a time, dancing side by side. Others split quickly, carried away by the current." The young monk watched in silence, his eyes following the shimmering surface. "People are like that," the master continued. "Some walk with us for a short while, others for years, but all must keep moving. Their departure isn't the tragedy. The tragedy is our refusal to accept that their presence was never meant to last forever." The boy said nothing, but as he watched the river continue its endless path, he understood. Love does not mean possession. Connection is not the same as control. Think about it. Have you ever reconnected with an old friend after years apart and felt as if no time had passed at all? That's because the bond never truly disappeared. It simply paused, quietly waiting in the background. And those who have left your life, they didn't take the joy or the love they once gave. What they offered shaped you. It became part of who you are now. The laughter, the lessons, the quiet moments, they remain. Aging teaches us this truth over and over again. Relationships evolve. Some fade softly like twilight. Others end abruptly like a sudden storm. But whether slow or swift, their presence was real and meaningful. And here's something worth remembering. Even if someone is no longer present, the love you shared does not vanish. It continues, woven into your thoughts, your spirit, your being. So rather than mourning every relationship that has passed, celebrate those that endure. Value the ones who still reach out. Treasure the friend who remembers your birthday. Smile at the neighbor who waves as you pass. Cherish the grandchild who listens patiently as you tell an old story for the third time. And above all, don't close your heart. You are never too old to love, to connect, to begin anew. Life still offers friendships, unexpected meetings, quiet moments of human warmth. If you remain open to receiving them, let go with grace. Honor what was, appreciate what is, and welcome what is yet to come. That is the way of wisdom. And as we turn now to the fourth truth, we're faced with something most of us resist, accepting that you no longer look young, and understanding why that's not a loss, but a gift. The old master smiled gently and gestured toward the weathered pine tree. "And this?" he asked. The woman looked at it closely. The tree was strong, its bark rough, its branches twisted with age. It stood firm, unwavering, shaped by decades of wind and rain. She hesitated, then nodded slowly. "It is different," she said, "but there's something dignified about it, something strong." The master chuckled softly. "That is because you now see with wisdom. A child may see beauty only in the cherry blossom, so delicate and brief. But in time, we learn to admire the pine for its endurance, its strength, its quiet grace." And in that moment, she understood. Her beauty had not vanished. It had simply changed form. Think about the elders who have inspired you in your own life. Were they beautiful because they look young? or because they carry themselves with quiet dignity, warmth, and compassion. It's not flawless skin or a youthful glow that stays in our hearts. It's the twinkle in their eyes, the calm way they listened, the kindness in their voice. That is real beauty. The kind that age does not erase. It reveals. Let go of the illusion that beauty fades. Beauty transforms. And in your later years, it shows itself in presence, in resilience, and in the gentle strength you've gathered through life's triumphs and trials. Aging is not a war to be won. It is a journey to be embraced. Imagine for a moment, what if we saw every wrinkle as a memory carved into our skin, every silver hair as a strand of wisdom? What if, instead of chasing lost youth, we celebrated the depth we've gained? There's a certain radiance that only comes with age, the confidence of knowing who you are, the strength of having endured countless storms, the gentleness that grows from understanding others more deeply. No beauty product, no filter, no dye can replicate that kind of glow, because it doesn't come from outside, it shines from within. So the next time you glance at your reflection and feel a pang of loss for the face you once knew, pause. Look deeper. See the life you've lived, the love you've given, the wisdom you now carry. Wear your years proudly, like a cloak woven with experience, pain, joy, and grace. Because your true beauty is not behind you, it is within you, right now in this very moment. And no band 215. You will see more people you love die, but love never dies. As the years pass, loss becomes more frequent. You say goodbye to parents, to siblings, to friends, sometimes unbearably, even to a child. And each goodbye leaves a quiet ache that no one ever fully prepares you for. Grief is not a wound that simply heals over time. It's more like a scar, a place that becomes part of us, tender but meaningful. Yet Buddhism offers a powerful and comforting truth. Love does not die. The people you have lost, they live on. In the stories they told you, in the lessons they passed down, in the kindness they showed. Every time you remember their voice, repeat their words, or carry their habits forward, you are keeping them close. There's a moving Buddhist parable about a woman named Kisa Gotami. When her only child died suddenly, she was overcome with unbearable sorrow. Clutching his lifeless body, she wandered from house to house, begging for a cure, something, anything, to bring her child back. Eventually, she came to the Buddha. He listened with compassion and told her, "Bring me a single mustard seed from a home that has never known death." With hope in her heart, she knocked on every door in the village. But at each house, she heard a similar story. Yes, we've lost someone too. A parent, a sister, a friend. By the end of the day, she had collected no seeds, but she had gathered something far more valuable. The understanding that grief is not hers alone. It is a thread that runs through every human life. When she returned to the Buddha, she was no longer pleading. She had found peace in knowing she was not alone. You see, loss touches us all, but the love we shared, that never fades. Think about someone you've lost. Maybe it was a parent whose laughter still echoes in your heart, a friend whose advice still guides your choices, a partner whose love shaped how you love others now. They may be gone from this world, but they are not absent from you. One of the biggest misconceptions about grief is that we must move on. But Buddhism doesn't teach that. It teaches us to move forward, carrying the essence of those we've lost with us. Have you ever heard a song or caught a familiar scent that instantly brought someone back to you? Even just for a moment? That is love, still alive, still whispering to you. Grief is painful, yes, but it is also sacred. It is proof that you love deeply. And the deeper the love, the deeper the ache. Yet instead of wishing that pain away, we can transform it. What we have lost, we can still cherish. And what we were given, love, connection, meaning, can be carried with us, always. Aging means witnessing more goodbyes. It means standing in the quiet after someone you loved is no longer there. But it also means this: you had the privilege to love deeply. You had the honor of knowing people who left an imprint on your soul. Each loss is heavy, yes, but it's also a reflection of how much life you've truly lived. And in that way, grief is not just a burden. It's a reminder of the beauty you've known. So when the ache of absence presses on your chest and the silence feels louder than words, remember, love never dies. It flows through you now, through your memories, your kindness, your laughter. It lives in the way you comfort others, the stories you pass down, the way you still show up for life. As long as you keep loving, those who have passed remain a part of you. And in that, they are never truly gone. Final thoughts. Embrace aging with grace. Let's pause here. Take a breath. Let it out slowly. Now really ask yourself this: what if aging is not a punishment, but a gift? Every single year, every wrinkle etched across your skin, every strand of silver in your hair, is a mark of a life deeply lived. They are the evidence of survival, of learning, of loving, of nights spent holding someone's hand, of mornings waking to new beginnings, of stories written in moments big and small. But still, too often society tries to convince us that growing old is something to be feared, to hide, to erase. We're told to fight against time, to cling to youth, to pretend we are something we no longer are. But Buddhism tells us something different, something freeing. Aging is not the enemy. Fear is. We suffer not because we age, but because we resist the truth that all things change. When we grasp at the past, when we try to outrun what is inevitable, we fill our hearts with frustration, anxiety, and regret. But when we begin to surrender to life's natural rhythm, we unlock a quiet, powerful peace. We start to see that aging is not something being taken from us. It is something being given, a deeper appreciation for the present moment, the ability to pause and reflect, a greater patience with others and with ourselves, and the wisdom that only time can offer. So now, dear friend, I ask you, what will you do with these truths? Will you battle time, or will you welcome it with an open heart? Will you look back, longing for what once was, or will you look around and honor what still is? The choice is yours. But if you choose acceptance, if you choose gratitude, if you choose to meet aging not with fear, but with curiosity and compassion, then you will see aging is not an ending. It is a beginning. Carry these 5 lessons with you like lanterns lighting your way. Walk this path with your head high and your heart open. Tell your stories. Laugh often. Love without restraint. Live not as someone fading, but as someone shining from within. And if these words touch your heart, I warmly invite you to share your thoughts in the comments. Let's walk this path of wisdom together, hand in hand, one mindful step at a time. And if this message gave you peace, clarity, or hope, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. There are many more stories, teachings, and reflections waiting for you, ways to live with greater purpose, peace, and presence. Because aging is not the closing of a book, it's simply the turning of a page. And the next chapter, it's yours to write.